Hi, I'm Paul Mitchell, leadership coach, author and founder of The Human Enterprise. Seek first to understand. You've probably heard the words several times before, and they were certainly brought to our attention in Stephen Covey's groundbreaking book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Well, today I want to talk about this seeking first to understand when it comes to teams. Because one of the things you have to have in teams to make them really hum is mutual trust and respect. In fact, mutual trust and respect is the basis of all great relationships. But here's the rub, as Shakespeare says. Mutual trust and respect is not just granted, it's an outcome. And it's an outcome of tremendous processes. And today I want to give you one of those, what I think is a great process anyway, called BPQ. So here's two problems that I see in teams. Problem number one is often low performance teams are having too much discussion and not enough dialogue. What do I mean by that? If you look at the root word of discussion, dis means to go against something, disregard, disrepute. Cushion, like percussion, means to strike or to hit. So in the discussion, what teams are doing, well, I think this, well, no, that's not right, I think this, and bing, 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 boom, 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 they're having discussions. A high performance team will certainly have discussions, and they have a lot more dialogue. What does dialogue mean? Dia is the word, means flow, diatribe, diagram, flow, and logos or logos means study or meaning. So dialogue means a flow of meaning. High performance teams have discussions, but they have a lot of flow of meaning. In other words, they're seeking first to understand. Problem number two with teams is that they don't think they've got enough time to have dialogue. They're always running out of time and they're not creating the space, which is a furphy, it's an untruth. Because the more we work with teams, what we find is the high performance teams create the space. They create the space to have the dialogue. So there's less angst, there's less confusion, there's less grandstanding, there's less silos, there's more engagement, more cohesion, more fruitful discussion, and better results. So let's have a look at what BPQ means. BPQ, it means breathe, paraphrase, question. Very simple. Breathe. Now, you don't necessarily have to breathe, but just take a break. You might want to say, oh, that's interesting. Haven't thought about that. And then you paraphrase what the person is saying, assuming positive intent. Very important. Assuming that someone didn't get up in the morning, one of your team members, to really get up your nose. And finally, question. So you take a break or a breather. You may even want to take a break. You actually paraphrase what they're saying, and then you ask a question before you even put your POV, point of view, forward. So what are some questions you can ask? Well, before you even look at what questions you can ask, there's another little nuance which you have to be very aware of, and that is your tone of voice and your body language. You could have a bit of a breather. That's interesting. You could paraphrase, and then you could say, so what makes you think that you've got the right answer? I mean, the body language is blaming, the tone of voice is totally wrong, as distinct from, hey, I'm wondering where you're coming from with that. What's the facts behind that? Very, very different. So do watch tone of voice and body language. So here are a number of different questions you can ask. I mean, really, it's limitless. I love the work of Dr. Adizes around this area. He talks about a number of things, scaling up. The first one is definitions. Hey, that's interesting. You said engagement. What do you mean by engagement? You say we want to build a better culture around here. What did you mean by better? What do you mean by culture? So just checking definitions. Next one could be interest or values. Say thank you for that. What's behind that? What's the outcome that you're looking for here? So you're not just going to say, what are your values, but you're trying to get what's behind what the person is saying. Another one could be time frames. People go, we should do this pretty quickly. Great. What did you mean by pretty quickly? I guess that's definition as well. Is it a short-term thing? Is it a long-term thing? Another great question, particularly when leaders are popping ideas in all the time, is to ask, fantastic, I think I heard you paraphrase. Now, is this an idea or a plan? What you're really saying, are we deciding still, or are we implementing? So there's a number of questions you can use there. Obviously the questions you can use are limitless and always assuming positive intent. So in summary, mutual trust and respect, particularly respect, is the basis of all great relationships, particularly great teams. Seek first to understand. Seek first to understand. And that understanding and the trust that's built is an outcome of great process. A great process is BPQ. Breathe. Sometimes you may even want to take a break, paraphrase, and then question. Watch your tone of voice, watch your body language, and watch the way your team goes to a whole new level of understanding, a whole new level of engagement, and a whole new level of better results. Please have a go. Let me know how you go. I'd love to hear from you. I'm Paul Mitchell. Find the passion, develop the skills, make the numbers, and make a difference. Thanks for watching. I hope you've got some great tractionable ideas or takeaways from that video. I'd like to now introduce you to our latest program, Basecamp Leadership Essentials, real skills for future leaders. And it really is very much a skills-based program. It's a one-day program and it's for leaders who are up and coming that may not even be in leadership roles yet, or leaders who've been newly appointed, or even for leaders who've possibly been in their role for a couple of years and need a bit of a turbo boost. Two big aspects of the program. One is, what is the leadership mindset required for growth to take people to the next level and the leader themselves to the next level? And the second component, as I said before, the real specific skill bases that are required. So if you believe that great culture is important in your business, and great culture comes from great leadership, and great leadership comes from leadership at every level, we'd love you to think about Basecamp. Please go to basecampleadership.com.au and explore the possibility of bringing the program to your organisation. We look forward to partnering with you.